Buzz after yesterday's scrimmage in Las Vegas, Team USA versus a select team of rising stars centered on a 6'9", 17-year-old who gave Team USA all it could handle. Our Olympians did hang on to win 74-73, but down the stretch, Duke-bound Cooper Flagg was everywhere, making threes over Anthony Davis, making a baseline jumper over Drew Holiday, crashing the boards for a putback and one over Bam Adebayo. Flagg's teammate on the select team, Jaime Jaquez of the Miami Heat, said this: to be able to do what he did, not even playing a college game, let alone an NBA game, there's no fear. It's relentless. And the thing that you can tell about him is that he just has a knack and the will to win. He doesn't need the ball. He just finds a way to it, and the ball finds its way to him. That's something that you just can't teach. He's just got a great feel for the game, all of which is why, as of right now, Cooper Flagg is projected as the first pick in next year's NBA draft. So, Keyshawn, early gut feeling, will this kid be able to keep living up to this much hype?
I think so. I mean, he's going to, obviously, a great program in Duke. Usually Duke guys tend to do well. When you look at his ability, though, they're speaking about it right there. I had a chance to meet him last year in Chicago, Skip, and as I like to say, he was really tall.
He was only 16, right?
Yeah, he was like 16, 17 years old, but you could tell baby-faced the whole deal. Now, he's going to have some growing pains and all those sort of things, just like all young players in sports.
Yeah.
But he has the ability. He's played a lot of basketball. It's not like he played his freshman year of high school basketball, and then all of a sudden he went through his sophomore, junior year, senior, and that was it. He's played a lot of basketball, AAU circuits, academies in Florida. So he's been around the basketball circuit. That's why he's not afraid. That's why he doesn't fear anything. And he's equal size to all the NBA guys now anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not talking about a 6'3" guy.
No.
We're talking about 6'9", 6'10" guy with a wingspan that puts him over 7 feet damn tall. So I expect for him to continue to just continue to grow. And when time comes for his name to be called as #1 pick in the draft a year from now.
Look, he's already so polished. I mean, you can just see it even in the little bits of glimpses we've seen of him play. His composure is great. He can handle the ball. He obviously has an outside shot, but he's not afraid to also get in there and rebound and go above the rim, and he defends at all positions. I mean, he's going to be such a valuable NBA player. So the idea of just him and Victor Wembanyama in your early projections slugging it out over the prime of their careers is going to be really fun. But yeah, I think the no fear stuff is the stuff that's most impressive. I just listed a bunch of X and O basketball attributes, and they certainly are the thing that stands out to you. But the fact that he has no fear, that he was willing to walk in that room and play that way, those are the kinds of things I think that make him so special in addition to the skill set. The only precautionary, tiny dust level thing I would like to say, though, also is this is the biggest game of his life. This scrimmage was, I mean, it was the biggest game of his life. He's only played high school basketball so far. This was not the biggest game of anyone else's life, you know, in the gym that day. Certainly on the Team USA, on the Olympic team.
I think they were trying, but they were kind of half speed a little bit.
But look, again, that's just a tiny speck of, you know, let's have some perspective. But the fact that he did what he did, I agree with the quotes. I mean, it's remarkable.
Okay, more perspective. Not since 2013 have we had a college player play on this select team. And if you go back to 2013, it was Doug McDermott, who had played 110 college games and twice been named first-team All-American. And it was Marcus Smart, who was coming off his freshman year at Oklahoma State, in which he had been Conference Player of the Year as well as the Rookie of the Year. So they already were pretty decorated at the college level. And again, this kid has not played a single college dribble yet. This was gold, so to speak, for him to have this opportunity. And it had to come just because of the Olympic cycle, that it came around at the perfect time for him to get to play. And this was the third scrimmage. So he got 3 scrimmages against the best American players in the NBA. And these are, we just talked about all, these are obvious first ballot Hall of Famers. For him to get to compete at a reasonably high level with them, because they're still, they all got pride. Again, are they going all out? No, but
No, it's
especially down the
incredibly
stretch of the
tough
game.
team, yes.
I watched carefully the whole fourth quarter. They were trying pretty hard.
100%.
And they were into it because they were having fun with it because he was so into it. And all of a sudden, he's rising literally above them. And I'm saying, that kid's got guts. And it's hard. You know this. You're either born with that or you're not. But you can't teach it. You can't coach it. There's something going on with him that's pretty special. And I don't want to overhype him because he's still got a long way to go, and I'm going to knock on wood for him. He stays healthy and all those things that have to happen. But early on, after he led our under-19 team to a gold medal, after he was the Gatorade National Player of the Year, to step on that floor and look like he belonged. Can I go all the way to belonged at 17 with those other... You know, that's LeBron-esque. And I'm not saying he's going to be LeBron because he's not going to be LeBron because it's just hard. That's a 1 in a billion shot. But you were there, LeBron at Sacramento at 18. Yeah. He just stepped on the floor, and I'm watching the game from New York City, and I'm just saying, well, he belongs, right? And he said he was a little nervous to start, missed a couple shots, and then he got going and scored 25 points. And you say, well, that guy's going to be really good because he already belongs at 18. He looked like the best player on the floor at Sacramento that night. Okay, well, this kid looked like he could be pretty good in the NBA, where his handle was so easy and skilled and natural, where he's handling against Drew Holiday. Listen, Drew Holiday can really defend. Yes. And then he's going up over Drew Holiday because, to your point, he's so long and tall. He's got long arms, too. And then when he was crashing the boards, he just crashes fearlessly. And he talked after the game about the one thing you got to get used to is the physicality, because you didn't get that playing basketball in Maine when you're. Then I know he moved, but then you could just see he was matching the physicality. Was he playing harder than the Team USA guys? Sure he was.
Every single one and done kid that I can remember, when I saw them either as a light freshman or a senior in high school, you could tell that they belong. We could start with LeBron James and we could end with Kyrie Irving. I mean, however, and we can go with a million different people in between. We can go all the way back to KG. He belongs. You can look at him and just tell, like, because if you project next year, he's already the #1 pick. That's basically what they're saying.
Yeah.
If he played no basketball.
Right.
Okay, if he went to Duke and walked around the track once or twice
that is
and
true.
said, I don't want to play basketball anymore.
Yeah, 100%.
He's going to be
He'd
the
still
#1 overall pick.
Overall pick. Absolutely. By the way, can you imagine what a shot in the arm this is going to be for men's college basketball over this next season? It's sort of, reminds you of Zion at Duke, right?
I'll be watching every game, I can tell you. That's must-see.
Zion, there you go.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, I just think
is.
that in a side of the sport, look, the women's tournament was, to me, 10 times more interesting than the men's tournament this past year. So to be able to have the men's side sort of have a star that they can plant behind, I think it's going to be great for that year. Duke is not Mike Krzyzewski's Duke anymore, but it's still one of the greatest finishing schools in basketball. So he's going to be, we can already project that he's going to belong, that sort of thing. And look, some guys, by the way, you can't tell at that age. Steph Curry did not look to college recruiters like he belonged on.
But Steph Curry is not 6'9", and not only is he not 6'9", he was never projected as the #1 overall pick at 17 years old. I'm just saying
there's more than one way to get there.
Yeah, no question about it.
Is all I'm saying. But the route that Cooper's taking of being flagged, excuse me, but you know what I mean, of being marked so early. We've been talking about him for 3 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I
absolutely
do not usually do that about high school students.
No.
So, so I just think that path he's taking is we know where it's leading.
So I got so into watching the fourth quarter because he had it going, and he definitely had it going from 3, and he shoots easy, sweet threes. It's just like an easy motion where nice arc, and it's soft threes where they're going to get nice, easy, favorable bounces. So it comes down at the end, and it's 74-73, and the select team's got the basketball, and I'm saying, let him take the last shot. And Brandon Pajemski, who obviously is a year he's been in the NBA for a year, so I don't know how much older he is than Cooper Flagg, but he'd be, what, like 5 years older. But the point was, he started, well, he got Clay demoted. He started 28 games for Golden State this year, and he was pretty good. Well, he's got the ball at the end of the game, and he's just saying, no, I start in the NBA, so I'm going to take the last shot. And I think we have the last shot. It was a bad idea because Anthony Davis just said, seriously? Seriously? And just made him eat it. But that's what they wound up with to win the game, was that shot. And I'm saying, let Cooper Flagg take a three.
He probably shouldn't have tried that.
I don't think he should have
I understand
tried
he
that.
had some nice minutes in Golden State, but might not want to do that again.
So I'm waiting for I haven't seen yet a Larry Bird comparison, but I'm sure we're going to get one pretty soon. Maybe we got to wait until he actually gets to the NBA.
Why a Larry Bird comparison?
Well, who knows? I don't know. It's just random.
Why
it's just
couldn't
random.
it just,
It's
why
out of the
couldn't
blue.
it be a Ingram comparison or somebody like that? Why had to be Larry
It'll be
Bird?
the best you-know-what since Larry Bird, right?
Oh, yeah. He's taking Luka's place now, right?
Yeah. Well, but he's
Luka's
American,
American.
So, but here's the...
American. That was the word he wasn't saying.
Here is the big difference, though, between Cooper Flagg and Larry Bird. This kid is very athletic. Not that Larry, in his own ways, but Larry wasn't the quickest guy or the most athletic. He wasn't a slam dunker. This kid's got that whole different kind of package going. So it's like next evolution. So
I think evolution is the perfect word, because we have seen in the last 10 years who the perfect basketball player shift radically. First before Steph Curry, then you had Steph Curry with his whole different skill set.
Yeah, we did.
Now you have these big men who can do everything. Right? And I mentioned Victor Wembanyama. I mean, he can literally do everything on a basketball court, both offensively and defensively. And Cooper, again, he's young, but it certainly looks like he has those do-everything skills for a guy who is, as you say, tall. He's a big guy.
Really tall.
Right? And so I think it's fascinating how quickly one group is sort of taking over for the other, and evolution is perfect. He is the guy for this generation.
yeah. So Keyshawn, get ready for this, because Duke fans are about to be insufferable again. It's been a while, right?
He's thinking about the NBA, man. He ain't thinking about damn NCAA tournament. He's trying to hurry up and get to the money, man.
I don't know. I wouldn't bet against him.
I was going to say.
He's trying to get to the money, Skip.
Okay. Well, speaking of the money, this guy got the biggest bag of free agency. Paul George